So, as probably not a single one of you fuckers know, I have worked many jobs in my life. Currently, I work 4 jobs. A full-time janitor, a part-time maid, yes you fuck nuggets, guys can clean houses too, and I work 2 gig jobs, food delivery and rideshare, which are not my main sources of income, but I've actually tapered off a bit, not doing rideshare due to Chinese-sourced diseases. The longest job I worked, however, was definitely in retail. Now, I won't drop names, but I worked for one of, if not the most largest retailer in the United States. Now, as most of you lovely guys, gals, and whatever technicolor rainbow in between are aware, working in retail is horrible. Shitty customers, shitty hours, shitty co-workers and bosses. Retail is a shit show to work for. However, it does make for some great stories to tell your buddies. And that's what you are, my audience. My buds, especially if you account for my staggering low numbers, meaning only my friends are watching these videos. Thanks guys, by the way. And I have over half a decade of experience to share, and that's what I'm gonna do. Sit back, grab a cold one, and laugh with me at some of the weirdest and most mind-bogglingly stupid experiences from me working in retail. Now here is a mind-blowing factoid for you. Just because we work in the electronics department of a retailer does not mean we're super geniuses or even IT guys. We know the basics, if not the same as you on products, or just what's displayed, especially since we did not work for a commission at the place I worked. But I cannot tell you how many people will come up with their broken electronics asking us to fix them. Now, I actually know a decent bit about most electronics, especially computers and TVs, as it's a hobby of mine to build computers and tinker with things. So generally, I would try to help with issues if I wasn't busy. This instance, however, was the most bizarre of them all. I got a call around 10:30 in the evening from an older gentleman, if that's what you call him. He was belligerent and rude, yelling about how his TV was stuck in the zoom feature, and he could not figure out how to get it fixed. And this is how the conversation went. Hello, electronics department, how can I help?
Hello, I need help, my TV is broke.
I'm sorry, what seems to be the issue with it?
Well, it's stuck and zoomed in, and I'm trying to watch my porn.
I had to pause for a second, baffled at what this old motherfucker was saying, unashamed, to a complete stranger. But I put on my best professional voice and said, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Have you tried reading the instructions that came with the TV?
No, I threw that shit out, and now I have this giant flopping titty in the middle of my screen. Now how do I get it back to normal?
You see, this was one of these customers who thought just because we sold the product, we are somehow experts on how everything works on the product. So then I replied, well sir, I'm actually unaware of how to help you. I only sell the products and do not know much about how to actually operate them. I can, however, try my best. Can you tell me what the maker of the TV is? Now, as from this point, I don't really remember how the conversation went. I knew he didn't even know the brand of his TV. What he said specifically kind of eluded to me, and the conversation dragged on, and with me trying to instruct him over the phone to try different possible ways to fix it. After a while, he just kind of gave up, and then he started a different line of questions.
So, do you like working there at Biggie Mart?
It pays the bills. From here, I could detect a notable change in his voice that kind of put me on edge, and what he said next kind of made me want to vomit.
So, hey, how are the ladies you work with? Any lookers?
Sir, I do not look at my coworkers in such a way. That is very inappropriate.
Oh, come on, don't give me that shit. Just describe a few for me real quick. How are they looking?
This old motherfucker was trying to tickle his pickle on the phone with me while wanting me to describe my co-workers. Like, what the actual fuck? I hung up the phone on this guy, called my manager, and told him what happened. My manager, whom was trying to hold it a laugh and keep it professional, but failing quite honestly, basically just told me if he calls again, just hang up on him and don't give him the time of day. Now, another story from when I worked in the electronics. We also had a photo print center, and I had to man the photo counter from time to time, and it was actually quite enjoyable. Now, I want you to come here. Look at me. Take what I'm about to say to heart. photo employees have to check and inspect your photos before we are allowed to give them to you. Now, this only was the case for photos you ordered online and through our kiosk. We did not check film or disposable photos because they were actually done by a third party. You see, though, there's this thing that I'm sure you have all heard of called copyright. Yes, I am more than confident that you see that word all the time here on the old YouTubes. But guess what, you fuckwits? It also applies to photos. So if we suspect that your photos are not yours, we cannot give them to you unless you have a written release. So don't try getting prints from pictures you saved online. And if you try to get photos printed from a photographer, you better get written permission from the photographer in order to print them. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten into arguments with Karens about this shit. We can be sued if you don't follow this procedure. But then the Karens are like, me, those are my wedding photos, me, that's my daughter's graduation photos, they're mine, I paid for them, I will sue you if you do not give them to me. Now listen here, you twat waffle, just because they are photos of you or your event, if you hired someone to take them, they are the photographer's intellectual property, unless they sign over those rights to you. So maybe have some forethought and get the documents from a photographer before coming here and wasting my time, you fuck nugget. I would get such a devilish satisfaction when they would not have the paperwork and I would get to shred those photos right in front of their fucking faces. You know, it's the little things, you know, that get me through life. Now, the craziest thing is people would try to get their porn printed off. No joke, I would probably get at least one of these creeps a month. Go to the kiosk, plug in their phone or USB, and try to print off nudes of their girlfriends or wives, or just porn from online they saved. Which, for one, bro, dude, do you not know the internet? Do you not have a phone in your hand to store these photos? Why go to a public place, have nudes of your girl up on a screen for passerbys to see, and with a straight face try to print them off? For one, we couldn't. It was against store policy. We'd have to shred them immediately after seeing them. And just two, that's fucking creepy, bro. Fucking creepy. Now, this wasn't exclusive to men either. There actually was a woman who came in and tried to print off her own nudes, pictures of herself. And again, not realizing we have to inspect every photo before we can print them or sell them to you. So she got embarrassed that we denied her and ran off. She was, you know, a decent looking girl at least, and even her nudes seemed professionally done. And I think that she said they were a gift for her husband's birthday, which was, you know, sweet, if I'm being honest. Stupid, but sweet. Oh well. At least the photos were kept in the computer system for a month, so I would go back and sneak a peek every so often. Yeah, it was nice for your boy Piggy here. Sorry, not sorry. Now, this story is 100% true. I still cannot believe this one happened. So we've already previously established you cannot print off your nudes or nudes you take offline. Well, that's 100 times more true for nudes of children. No fucking joke, a dude tried to print off kitty porn in our store, and it was a big deal. We immediately informed the police, who hid behind the counter until the slimiest disgusting guy came to pick him up. He was promptly arrested. And you know what? Good, I say. Hope the bastard rots in the slimiest, disgusting jail cell, taking it up the ass daily from Big Bubba. Scum of the earth, I say. Well, I think that's enough for this video. I know it's only 2 stories, but I have plenty of more to share. If you like this video, let me know in the comments. I have over half a decade's worth of retail stories to share, and stories from my other jobs I think you'll find just about as interesting, to be honest. Especially the ones where I worked at a pool. That got crazy really fast, for some reason. Well, what are some of your crazy work stories? Let me know in the comments below. And if I like it enough, I might feature it in the next video. Don't forget to like, sub, and you know the rest. Stay porky, my friends.